All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Couch Warrior podcast. I'm your host, as always, Mike, and today we're going to be breaking down Bellator versus Rizin. Going to be a really dope event on New Year's Eve, so I'm looking forward to the fights. I'm looking forward to breaking it down real quick. And yeah, going to be quite a bit of time without fights. I did find a few regional scenes that are going to be going on during our break, our 1 month break. So I'll be breaking those down here and there. We'll see in terms of videos, but as always, I post my picks at Couch Warrior Pod on Twitter, and we'll hop right into this one. So real quick, I did want to mention we do have odds right now, but it's only available on Bet365. I'm not sure we're ever going to get the odds in other books like Bet Online or DraftKings, stuff like that. And I don't know if we're going to get those lines because this is apparently going to be aired later. So like it'll be recorded live and then aired on Showtime later. So last time something like that happened, it was the PFL Challenger Series. It was pre-recorded and there were originally lines and then they started getting taken down. So we'll see if we actually get any lines. I don't know if I'm going to end up playing anything, even if we get them, but I'll break down the fights. So we'll see what happens with the lines and maybe you guys will find some bets you like. So we'll hop right into the very first fight. And for this one, we've got Koji Takeda versus Gadzhi Rabadanov. Takeda is 15-3-0, 27 years old. He's 5'7" with a 68-inch reach, training at a Brave gym. On the other side, you've got Gadzhi Rabadanov. He's 18-4-2, 5'8", so he's 1 inch taller, 71-inch reach. He's got a 3-inch reach advantage, and he's training out of the Mamashev team. So, yeah, this one, I don't know. This one's interesting. All the fights are interesting. They seem one-sided, but honestly, I think most of the dogs are live in their own ways. Koji is actually pretty good. He's a good grappler. His striking is decent, but he uses it to set up the grappling. He's always going into the grappling exchanges, tries to get your back, tries to hang on you early, and tries to get the fight down to the ground. He had a pretty good performance against Spike Carlisle until Spike pulled off his classic move and ended up getting something later in the fight once he was able to tire out Koji Takeda. So, that's one thing with Takeda. He does slow down a little. And the other thing is he seems pretty hittable to me. His defense is not that great. He is a southpaw. Gadzhi is an orthodox striker. So it should be an advantage for Takeda, but his striking is just not all that good. He's more, like I mentioned, he's more of a grappler. So, and then Gadzhi on the other side, he is a very good wrestler. He's also more of a wrestler than he is a striker. Maybe not as much of a submission threat as Takeda. Takeda has both guys actually have 5 sub wins, but to me, it seems like Takeda is a little bit better in the BJJ department. His armbar transition in one of his fights was really clean. Just on the ground, he's very, very good. But I do think that Gadzhi's going to be able to take him down and control him. And then on the feet, I think it's Gadzhi. He's also not the best striker, but his output is a little low for me, which I don't love. If you've watched my videos before, you know that. But in terms of his own striking, it is good. It's clean, nice, straight, no really winging punches. And I really like the jab. I think the jab will help a lot. I think Gadzhi should be able to win this just by working on the outside, getting his takedowns. Probably going to be a decision win for him. Can Takeda win this? Maybe by sub, but I don't see it going any other way for him. I don't really see how he can now grapple Rabadanov and win a decision. That seems unlikely to me. So the pick is Gadzhi, but the line, minus 235 on Gadzhi. Takeda comeback is plus 190. I don't really want to play either of those. Neither one seems that worth it for me. So we're going to move on to this next fight. I mean, talking about lines that are gone, there's nothing to do with this fight, but we'll talk about it anyways. So this is actually a third rematch. This is Kyoji Horiguchi versus Hiromasa Ougikubo. Horiguchi is 35-0, 32 years old, 5'5" with a 65-inch reach, and he's training out of American Top Team. Hiromasa on the other side is 25-6-2, 35 years old. He's 5'3", he's 2 inches shorter, 65-inch reach as well. And he's training out of Paraistra Matsudo. So, in both of their fights, it was pretty clear that Kyoji was a better fighter in both of their previous 2 fights. Kyoji in my opinion, clearly the better striker, moves a lot better. That's his thing. His signature style is moving in and out, moving a lot for Kyoji. So I think his striking is going to be a lot better. Hiromasa, actually a decent striker once you're in close, maybe in the pocket, but at range, not so much. And as the fight goes on, man, he doesn't move. Flat feet. Kyoji's going to be all around him, moving, outstriking him. Now, Hiromasa's a wrestler. He's really good at it. That's how he wins a lot of his fights. He's got a dub over Kaya Sakura, wrestled him. He fought Kim, who we'll be talking about soon in the next fight, and wasn't able to get his wrestling off as much there and ended up losing that fight. I think it's going to be similar here. And in their previous fights, Kyoji's shown that he can also out-wrestle Hiromasa. He can get taken down, but he didn't get held down. He was the one getting ground control, and he was the one going for subs. So I think it's going to be Kyoji all day long. The line reflects this. It's not really playable. Kyoji is now minus 400, plus 310 on Hiromasa. Not really playable in my opinion. I don't think Hiromasa wins, so I don't want to play that plus 300. And Kyoji minus 400, what are you going to do with it? Maybe you can parlay him and Gadzhi. Maybe I'll do something like that. But other than that, I really wouldn't. There's not much to do here. But yeah, I think it should be Horiguchi all day. I just don't see the threat here unless Hiromasa can blanket wrestle him, which he hasn't been able to do in 2 fights against Kyoji, and I don't think it's going to happen here. All right. For this next one, if we get lines, this will probably be my only bet of the night. But we've got Juan Archuleta versus Chul Kim. Archuleta is 24-6 and oh my goodness, sorry, 26-4-0. He's 35 years old, 5'7" with a 69-inch reach, and I don't have his gym written down. I'm blanking where he trains. It's a bigger gym if I remember correctly, but regardless, Chul Kim on the other side, he's 18-6-1, 31 years old. He's 4 years younger, 5'7". They're the same height, 67-inch reach. So he's given up 2 inches in reach to Juan, and he's training out of Road Gym. So this is my favorite fight of the card, honestly, except maybe the last one. We'll talk about it, but I think this is a really good matchup. So Chul Kim, pretty good regional performances, was road champion. Just wasn't against the best guys. That's a thing that's repeating here in these fights is what the fuck is the level of competition is definitely on the side of Bellator. Like, they're definitely fighting the better guys all around. Whereas Kim, on the regionals and where he was fighting on Road FC, not the best competition. And then he did fight Hiromasa in Rizin in his last fight. And I honestly, I thought Hiromasa was going to win that. I don't think I bet it either way, but he was able to negate the wrestling of Hiromasa, and then he was able to outstrike him. His striking is really good. I love his body work. I mean, it's really impressive. Like, the way he works the body is really dope. He really makes sure to target it. It's a very, very good strategy. And he mixes it up. He'll go body, 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 head, 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 body, body. Just mixing it up. Great combos. I really like his offensive striking. Now, I emphasis on offensive because his defensive striking leaves a lot to be desired. And I think that's going to be a big thing here. Kind of just lets himself be hit, which is not a great thing. Archuleta is a good striker as well. He does have a wrestling base, and that's what I think he does best. But Archuleta is also a really good striker, particularly in his last few fights. He's shown this in the Barzola fight. He looked so clean. So I do think that the striking is going to be close here. Offensively, Kim might be landing the better stuff, but he's also going to be taking big shots, in my opinion. Whereas Juan, maybe he'll get landed on, but he keeps a nice high guard. He's going to be moving a lot. He's got good defense. I just think he's going to be getting hit a lot less. Kim could find a lot of success going for the body because Juan Archuleta has that high guard. That'll be interesting to watch, but I'm not quite sure if he can really hold up with just taking so many shots. I do think Juan is also a really good striker. Now, in terms of the wrestling, Kim actually in that Hiromasa fight, Hiromasa is a really good wrestler. I spoke about this, but Kim took him down more than Hiromasa took him down. I think he took him down like 3 or 4 times. I believe they were all trips. And he's shown a decent ability to grapple, but I do think that Archuleta is going to be a way better wrestler. Wrestled D1 for Purdue. He's shown all of his wrestling skills throughout his Bellator fights. Really good takedown defense. I don't really see Kim taking him down. So, in my opinion, it's going to be Juan Archuleta who wins this fight, probably by decision or maybe a KO late because Kim keeps those hands down. But I do think Kim is also very live for a KO. In my opinion, Kim is probably the livest Rizin fighter, and this is going to be a really dope fight. But if we do end up getting the lines, I'm going to be playing Juan on Bet365. He's minus 155. The money's coming in the other way. So if we get those lines, if I get like minus 150, I'll play it for a unit. I do think Juan just is better everywhere, except maybe just the offensive striking by a little bit. But it'll be close, I think. And I do think Archuleta's got more ways to win, and I think he's going to win this fight. All righty. This one is such an interesting matchup. So we've got Patricio Pitbull versus Kleber, Koike, Erbst. Pitbull is 34-5-0, 35 years old. He's 5'6" with a 65-inch reach, training out of his Pitbull brother's gym. Kleber on the other side, he's 31-5-1, 33 years old, 5'10". He's 4 inches taller, 70-inch reach. He's got a 5-inch reach advantage, training out of Bonsai Jiu-Jitsu. So the first thing that stood out to me was that Kleber's got 27 submission wins. That is a lot of submission wins. He's been subbed once himself, whereas Pitbull, he's got 12 sub wins, 1 sub loss himself. Pitbull is definitely the KO artist here. 11 knockout wins to Kleber's 2. Kleber's never been knocked out, though. Pitbull has been once. Now, I honestly, I really wanted to like Kleber. I wanted to back him in this fight. I don't know why. I felt like maybe the wrestling and the grappling would really be good. AJ McKee was able to get that sub win, although it was very quick. It was just, I believe it was guillotine, right? So I don't think Kleber can do it. Kleber's got good wrestling. Maybe he can get Pitbull down a few times. I don't think he'll be able to hold him down. And Pitbull has shown an ability to get people down as well. And Kleber will accept guard. I mean, he's got 27 submission wins. He's very confident in his grappling game. And he is willing to stay down on his back and fish for subs. Pitbull will stay on top and just ground and pound him. He's totally fine with doing that. On the feet, it's like Pitbull all day long. I don't like the striking of Kleber. It's all right. I like his front kick, but he just doesn't look comfortable in the hands. And, man, he's so hittable. I really do think that Pitbull is going to find that chin. I think Pitbull's probably going to knock him out. And, yeah, I mean, he could win a decision. I don't see Kleber winning this without getting some kind of quick submission, which is possible. 27 sub wins is nothing to scoff at. But I don't think he's going to submit Pitbull. And I think Pitbull is going to find that chin. Just seriously, check out the striking of Kleber and just look at the striking defense and then think about Pitbull, and you'll probably see what I'm seeing. So I do think that Pitbull is going to knock him out. Am I going to bet him if we get these lines? No, it's minus 351 Pitbull, plus 265 Kleber. The thing with Kleber and the next person we're going to talk about is they're very dangerous. They might not be the better fighters here, but they're both really dangerous fighters. Let me say what up to the chat real quick. Moyes with the carousel. What's up, brother? Pitbull nuke incoming. Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those Pitbull clean shots and just that's what I'm thinking. Glenn Bott, thank you for tuning in, brother. Sub Couch Warrior, congrats on your year. Impressive. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you to everybody watching right now. You guys are all super dope. This is why I do this. Going to be working on some stuff over break, trying to figure out some new things to do for next year. I think we're going to start doing Twitter Spaces weekly. That's one thing I want to talk about when I'm going to do my recap show tomorrow. Going to try to get some cool intro music or something going. A few things I want to work on. And I'm getting a really dope guest for 283, I think. Yeah, it's a fighter that I don't think has really made any appearances on any betting shows. And I'm very hyped for that. I'll talk about it more once it's a little more official. And then Papa Chuck real quick. Mike is the most dangerous. Watch out, bookies. Thank you, Papa Chuck. I appreciate you very, very much. Always tuning in to all our shows. But all right, so we'll move on to our last fight of the night and the one I'm most excited for. I mean, this is an awesome matchup. Here we've got AJ McKee Jr. versus Roberto de Souza. McKee is 19-1-0, 27 years old, 5'10" with a 74-inch reach, training out of Team Body Shop MMA. On the other side, de Souza is 14-1-0, 33 years old. He's 6 years older, 5'11". He's 1 inch taller, and he's out of Bonsai Jiu-Jitsu. So, yeah, I'm like really excited for this fight. So, de Souza was someone I wasn't too familiar with. I don't watch Rizin all that much. I do when there's lines out, of course, but not always watching. And wow, I was impressed with his ground game, man. I mean, the way he submitted, what's his name, Johnny Cash, something like that. Wow, like it's so clean. His transitions on the ground are just so clean. I couldn't find his official credentials online, so if anyone knows, like if he's some kind of world champ or whatnot, let me know. But I do know, I can tell you he has high level BJJ because the transitions, the work on the ground is just nasty. He's got 10 sub wins, never been submitted himself. And the thing is, his striking isn't that good, but there's also like not a lot of info on his striking because he doesn't leave it there. He comes right in, goes onto you, sticks to you like glue, tries to get you down, tries to find a sub standing. He doesn't care. He just needs his body on yours so you're not at striking range and he can work where he's most comfortable. His wrestling is pretty good, but he literally doesn't need it. Like he'll pull subs just out of his ass. It's crazy. He's very impressive. His armbar is nasty. And the one thing is he does accept bottom position, right? Similar to Kleber, who I was just talking about. De Souza does accept bottom because he's so comfortable and because he's so sure that he's going to be able to sub you. I mean, he subbed Tafik Mustafayev in like, I think it was like 2 minutes. So very dangerous guy. And it's a good matchup because so is McKee, right? AJ's also got 7 submission wins, also has really nasty transitions. I mean, the stuff he does on the ground is also really dirty. I can't say he's got the better BJJ here. I mean, it's just hard to look at both of their bodies of work and say it's McKee. I think it's de Souza with the better BJJ. Now, who has the better wrestling? That I give to McKee. And I think that's going to be key. McKee. I think it'll be important here because de Souza, like I said, accepts bottom position, will fish for subs from his back. McKee can get those takedowns. If he can stay safe on top, which he should be able to, being also a very good submission specialist, I think he can grind out the clock and win minutes. Now, on the feet, I think it's McKee. Like I said, there's not a lot of info on de Souza because he's always just going right into the grappling exchanges, but McKee's striking is good, actually. Like, it's still a work in progress, in my opinion. It's not, like, amazing, but I actually really like it. It's really straight. Nice 1-2s down the pipe. The combos are clean. Very nasty in the clinch. Good jab. I like his work on the feet, and I do think he's going to be the more comfortable striker. So I think that this is AJ McKee Jr. The line on Bet365 is -160 McKee, +130 de Souza. That doesn't really catch my interest just because I don't know what de Souza's striking is going to look like. So it could be close there, closer than I think, because I think McKee's the better striker. It could be closer. And I don't know how their grappling is going to match up. So I'm probably good just watching this fight, enjoying it as a fan. If the odds were like nicer on de Souza, I probably would have taken a half unit play on him, but I'm not going to at these odds. Probably just going to be watching this as a fan, but such a good matchup. This one and the Archuleta Kim ones are my favorite ones of the card. And yeah, that's a wrap, guys. So like I mentioned, there's odds out on Bet365. I don't know if we're going to end up getting them widely because this is going to be, I don't know if it's pre-recorded, but it's like delayed, right? So it's going to happen and then they're going to show it on Showtime later. Like I said before, that this has happened like last year with PFL, right? PFL Challenger Series pre-recorded. There were lines and there was chaos. A lot of books took them off. So I do think it's possible we don't even get lines here, but I hope we do. They already exist on one book and maybe we'll get a few plays going. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for watching. As always, remember tomorrow we're going to be going live for my 2022 recap video. Going to talk about this year, Going to talk about everything, how I've learned this year, what's happened. I've had quite, I don't want to call it a run. I've had quite a comeback. I've had quite a comeback this year that I'm very, very proud of. I'm going to talk about that. And then also we're going to do like superlatives, awards, whatnot, and give those out, just say what I think. And then I'll do a few predictions for 2023 for the weight classes, who's going to be champ and whatnot. And yeah, and that'll be a show. Hopefully you guys will tune in. We can chat it up, a little more interactive of a show. But all right, thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great holiday season and goodbye.